Well, hello there and good evening. Welcome to the live stream through a night Prague. I hope everything will go as planned in my head. Nobody knows that just yet. But if you're tuning in live, you may see something unusual. If you're watching this further on, who knows what you'll see. Also, give me 1 second here before we start. I always forget to turn my phone into quiet mode. I hope you can hear me. If not, please let me know. But my plan today is to drive you through Prague. I have my phone set up on my dashboard, so it's sort of a dash cam. And the first comment I'm reading, and this is partially the reason why I'm doing this live stream, is because can hear you, lovely, perfect. Also, I will not be reading the comments because obviously I'll be driving. But the reason I'm doing this is because it's exactly 9 p.m. And after 9 p.m., you cannot walk outside in public in Prague or entire country of the Czech Republic due to the lockdown. Only if you're going to work or if you're walking your dog or if you're walking home. I believe this doesn't apply to driving. Who knows? But either way, I consider this to be my work and to give you a tour. I should be safe. I shouldn't harm anyone. I'll drive as safe as I can. But I guess you didn't come here to hear me talking and yanking, but I guess you want to see the lovely city of Prague. So here we are. Right now you have the lovely, if I'll be able to start my car, you should be able to see the city. I mean the whatchamacallit, Vyšehrad. I guess when I get to better light conditions, the light will change to better. There we go. This is much better. So right now we're starting at Smíchov. You're looking at the other side of the river. We're pointing south, and I'll take a little tour through the city to show you what it looks like after 9 p.m. here in Prague. Are my lights on? How do I know? Oh, here, auto. I don't really know how to control this car because it's my stepmom's. I took it because I consider it to be easier to drive. Also, if I violate any rules of driving in Prague, please don't tell on me. Or I should point out that this cannot be used at court as evidence. Of course, when I'll be driving over cobblestone, the picture will be wobbly and shaky, as you can see right now. Where am I? Here I am. It will be shaky and wobbly, but once I get on a normal surface, it should be better. And also once I get on cobblestone, I'll slow down so it's smoother. Also, I hope you like my t-shirt. And please don't comment on my driving. So here we are. We're first going to drive under Palackého Bridge. That's one of the first actual bridges in Prague because the previous one is a highway bridge. Then after that is a railroad bridge. And we're going to cross Irascov Bridge that we're going to head on to the dancing house. So let me switch the camera so you'll see where I'm going. See, I always tell you to walk around Prague, and this time you have the one and only experience to take a drive with me. Just like the hop-on, hop-off bus, but with honest guide guiding you. This is so weird talking to myself in a car. And here's my first chance to not run a red light. So the bridge to the right is Irascov Most. I believe it's something like 1927. Somebody will correct me, obviously, in the comments. And somebody's already telling me that I shouldn't be driving after 9 p.m. Well, if I do get pulled over, at least you'll see it live. But thank you, Internet, for ruining the fun for me. Anyhow, now across Irascov Bridge, at the end, you will see the dancing house, Ginger a Fred, by Vlado Milunic, and once again, somebody will help me out in the comments. And of course, I believe you not only know the dancing house because it's one of the most famous landmarks in Prague, but you should know it thanks to the fact that we seeded the honest grass next to it. I'll try to sneak over to the left lane here so I can actually take a turn there. This would be so much better if I would have my convertible or if I would actually have a wide lens, but I believe you can still see the dancing house lit up quite nicely. This is a tricky intersection, one of the busiest bridges in Prague. As you can see, there's still a lot of traffic, and right in front of you right now is where the honest grass is. I'll shine my high beams on it so you can see it for a little bit. See that? See that beauty? That's our that's our honest grass. Here on the left, on the left, this tower is actually a leaning tower that I didn't know. Usually people refer to this tower because the secret police was spying on our former president from it, but it is actually the tower that is leaning the most in Prague. I was told that by my friend. We're passing which you can see on the left here, is the Manes Gallery exhibition hall that just recently actually hosted the fake Banksy exhibition. I'm going on a green light, which is good, no cobblestone. On the left you see Joffin, and right in front of you is the National Theatre with the beautiful golden rooftop. Obviously, all of these buildings, all of these places are now closed. You cannot access them, and that's pretty much it. Now you'll have a first glimpse of the Prague Castle. I will not be crossing the bridge now. Here's the lovely castle for you. I can drive slow, just so you know, because there's nobody behind me. Don't worry, I'm not trying to slow traffic or anything. The castle and the St. Nicholas Church below it. I'm gonna make a right turn here. I actually cannot go straight because this road has been adjusted so only trams and bicycles can go straight. Also, if I manage to ride on the tram tracks, it should be smooth ride. See the no entry sign there? So here we go. National Theatre on our right. Famous coffee place Slavia in front of us. On the right is the new building of National Theatre right here in front of us. And on the right is the Václav Havel Square. We are now on Národní třída, the National Street. You can still, I'm going to let this guy go, even though he does not have the right of the way, as you know from our videos. You can still see Czech flags hanging around on the left, because this street is where our Velvet Revolution happened. By the way, if you're just tuning in, yes, you're listening to the Honest Dashcam. That's what I should have named the video. But you see the street is quite empty. This is where the students were protesting back in 1989. So we did have sort of a celebration remembering this Tuesday. On the right, one of the newest buildings in Prague called Drn, D-R-N, brand new. It used to be a big parking lot. And you can see on the right there on the right where the person is standing, all these candles to remember the 17th of November. I'm going to drive really slow, nobody behind me. Now there's a car behind me, so I'll speed up a bit. And this area would be referred to as Národní třída, the National Street. There's also a place where we catch scammers here. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is tricky here because trams are coming from the right. Lucky for me, no tram. Still, National Street, Národní třída. This was, for you if you're into cars, this was just made into a two-way street with a roundabout at the end. And this is also an important spot for you because for the very first time, I can finally show off with my €1 does not equal 16 crowns t-shirt, because right here is where the last standing scam exchange office was, right in front of me now. So I can actually, so right now it's not me driving, just in case somebody will ask. So I'm actually just going to show you the exchange office. See that right there? That's it right there, closed. So nobody can change their money anymore. And if I would continue straight, I don't know if the picture is in focus or if that's okay. It seems to be fine. It's just a shaky bit. If I would continue straight, I would eventually reach the Wenceslav Square. But I'm gonna back up as I do. By the way, this is like a super luxury car and it does not have a backup camera, which drives me crazy. All right, and now I'm entering Perlová Street. This street is called Perlová. Okay, it's nothing special, but It's famous among Czechs and people of Prague because this is where the hookers and prostitutes would stand. So whenever you refer to Perlova, people know you're referring to the street, and it's quite famous. You would always say, oh, the girls from Perlova. They're not here anymore, or not even now, and there's actually a little, how would you call this? Little plaquette that remembers them. Right in front of me is my elementary school, building on the left. And once again, I'm gonna make a right here. Let's consider myself to be dopravní obsluha. I'm not even gonna try to explain that to you. If there are cops watching or city cops, I was just not driving, and you cannot use this footage as evidence. Also, I'm driving a red Ford Mustang. Estate Theater in front of me, beautiful building. Also a place where the movie Mozart was filmed. Amadeus, I'm sorry. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And you can see this place, under normal circumstances, this is a connection between Old Town Square and Wenceslav Square. This is a place that normally would be packed with people. And when I say packed, I mean packed. Even at this hour, obviously now it's 9 p.m., there would be flocks of people crawling through here, going through here. But right now there's nobody here. It's completely deserted. You can even see that most of the lights in the buildings are turned off because there are not too many people living here. We can actually, I believe, since we're already here, I can take a little detour here through the market that has been closed just recently. This is Havelské tržiště, Havel's Market, and this area was actually called St. Gall City, and now it's obviously the old town of Prague. Once again, in front of me is my elementary school, the green building you can't really see. And this, when I was a kid going to elementary school, this used to be a fruit and vegetables market, big for that, and only like 5% of it was a tourist souvenir market. Nowadays, it's the other way around. I'm gonna turn around here. Here's my favorite coffee place, Alfredo on the left. The owner, Linda, is always super nice to me, always trying to give me a free coffee, which I always deny, but it is absolutely lovely. Now, I will have time to stop here for a second, and if somebody can tell me what's the church in front of me, you'll be considered to be the true Honest Guide fans. I can now actually look at the comments if they're coming up, any of them. But if you can see the church in front of me, you know what it's missing, right? It's not St. Peter's. It's the church with the honest bell. That's correct. The honest bell is still down in the church, but it will eventually be in the left tower that you can see. I can actually tilt this a little bit. Is this a little better? Maybe. Yes, St. Gall Church. So the bell, the honest bell, is now down in the church, and eventually it will make its way up to the left tower that you can see right now. If the camera's not focused, I'm sorry, but this is the best I can do. Alrighty, so let's continue with our little tour. As you can see, obviously all businesses are closed, all restaurants, all shops, everything has to shut down by 9 p.m., which is just 15 minutes ago. Well, there's a person walking. That's a surprise. Somebody was waving at me, saying hi to me. I'm not sure if that was a taxi driver that I know from here. Maybe it was. And I don't know how he would recognize me in this car, but whatever. So here's the entrance to St. Gall Church. If you guys come to Prague and the church will be open, that's where you can meet and hear the honest bell before it's put up to the tower. I'm not sure if you guys are having a good time or no. I actually like driving around the city. I never do that. I always walk around. So I'll take you to a couple more places, and if you don't mind, I'll take you to the Old Town Square if I can make it there without violating any rules or laws, which I've already done a couple times. No, I did not. There's the city cops. Hi guys, hope you're not after me. I'll just wave them goodbye. They will never catch me. So now we're approaching Uhelný trh that I've mentioned a couple times. It would translate to coal market because I guess coal was traded here. That's also the original name for most of the squares that are in Prague, that they would be called something market. Koňský trh, ovocný trh, horse market, fruit market, coal market. There you can see a church sneaking in the left, but we're gonna take a right here to lovely Skořepka with Erotic City on the left. It used to be on the right, but when we were kids and we would play on our playground, the ball would usually go over the wall and we would have to go to Erotic City to pick it up, so they had to move Erotic City on the other side of the street, is, I believe, the true story that happened there. Now, I will consider myself, once again, I will do something here that you didn't see. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And I'll just take you on the cobblestones of Prague. These streets are so narrow that only an idiot would ride a car here or drive a car here. But I gotta give absolute kudos to the people parking in between these church walls. As you can see, the white car parked on the right here. I always have like mad respect to this. It's like, how do they, parallel park into this tiny little spot? We're approaching Husova Street now. This is Kostel svatého Jilí. As you can see, somebody looking at the church, Jilí. But let's keep going. Actually, my plan sort of ended now, but I guess, you can see what the streets look like now. A lot of Lime scooters just left behind. Thanks, Lime. Nobody's using them, except for very few locals. Here on the left, okay, I'll stop here for a second. Here on the left is one of the most famous pubs. In the very left corner, you can see the Golden Tiger. So that's a popular spot for people to go to have beer. This place has been shut down for a long time. And it's actually the last pub I've been to when the very first lockdown began. I'm sorry, my hand. Now I'm gonna turn off the lights just for a second so you can see the original light of the street. But we're crossing the Royal Way of Prague. This is the busiest street among tourists that I'm sure you know. So to the right, we would head to Old Town Square. To the left, we would go to the Charles Bridge, and there's absolutely no one on the street right now. Absolutely empty, deserted. The only light you can see on the street is the Euronet ATMs that have been installed just recently. They shine a lot. So here we are. Lucky for me, I'm not reading the comments. I'm sure there's a lot of hate about, I don't know, whatever the internet can come up with, but that's partially the reason I'm doing this on a vlog, so I don't get that much hate. I want to show you this building. I'll back up a bit. Now I'm like completely blocking the intersection. But this is the mayor's house. This is the, my English is so bad nowadays. I have no idea why. This is the city town hall. That's the word I was looking for, because in Czech we call it magistrát. So the balcony you see on the right is the mayor's balcony, and right in front of you, if I turn a bit, is the Prague City Municipal Library. Absolutely amazing building. And on the left is the National Library. So 3 important buildings right here on the square. This square was actually a parking lot, and then it was turned into a place for sitting and gathering, for people to sit down and enjoy. Nowadays, once again, a road is going through it, which does not make me happy, but All right. Okay, where was I? Now we're driving through Partnerska onto the Old Town Square. I will show you small square that is next to it, that is actually called the small square. And then we'll drive through Pařížská for a minute. There's also a change of pattern. Right in front of me is my favorite pub, Ukata. Oh boy, I wish I could go for a beer. There's the little square in front of us, and that's NYU, that actually they have their Christmas decorations already set up. And right in front of us is also a very popular spot called Scouts Institute. You frequent viewers, if you know it, and I'm sure you do, that's where Scouts Institute was. Interesting fact about the building you see in front of me, it is actually empty, and not because of the lockdown or because of the quarantine. It's empty because the city just left it empty. The bottom of the building, there are services. There's a coffee place, there's a restaurant, there's a pub, but the rest of the building, the upper floors, are completely empty. And here, behind the city hall, is the back entrance that will take you to the Paternoster, the non-stop running elevator. Oh, is there a car coming? Also, fun intersection. I have the right of the way for people coming from the left. We do have right of the way from the right. I hope, and I guess you know that. A fair and honest exchange place on the left here. And this is where one of our most famous videos was made, where we catch the crooks, the scammers that cheat with the rubles. They always stand right here on the corner. And far out in the distance, you can see Prague Castle looking out. Not sure if you guys are enjoying this. I hope you are. I can see there's like a couple hundred people watching, so I'll stick around. Alrighty, here we go. Here we are on the Pařížská Street, or if you want, the Paris Street. Once again, I do have right of the way. There's not too many people here. I would say almost no one. Here you can see the serious parking problem in Prague. There's nobody parking here. It's pretty much empty. Just a few luxury cars, because it's so-called luxury street, but it has nothing really in my mind to do with luxury except for the brands. Okay, the cars are not parked here because there's something. Oh, a Christmas tree is coming up. All right. But here on the left is a place for me that will always give me, not chills, but will always make me think about it, because here on the left is where crooked taxi drivers used to park, right here. And we would watch them from the tower up here, and we would film them and take pictures of them. So whenever I would drive through here, I was always a bit nervous. Not nervous, but you know, I always had it in my mind that they're here and that they're occupying these spots. Speaking of taxi drivers, huh? Let me park on their spot, because that's something I never did. So this is the view the crooked taxi drivers had when they were waiting for tourists to be cheated. I mean, what a view. I kind of understand they picked the spot, but obviously they picked the spot because, this is where tourists are. So this is Old Town Square. As you can see right in front of me is the barricade that should prevent cars from entering the square, yet there's a perfect hole for a car to enter. There's a new addition to the stand, which is Marian column that you can see now, but it's not lit up. A statue of Jan Hus, and of course the beautiful teen church. I was gonna say something, but I don't know what. Now it's gonna be wobbly again. Do you wanna see Ugly Yannick here? I'm still here. Hello. Well, we can continue, and we can obviously drive somewhere else. So if you guys want to, I mean, I'm asking a couple hundred people and I can't get a response. I should stop and read a few of these comments. This is bumpy, I know, because it's cobblestone. Right of the way from the right, nobody coming. It's empty. There's nobody here. This is the party street. So if you guys ever been to Prague, this is Dlouhá Street, would translate to the long street. This is where parties would happen. This is where tourists would go to. And this is where I always try to avoid. I'm not much of a party person. I'm more of a, sit down, chill guy. So right here is the famous James Dean Club, where it's usually, tourists or people who moved to Prague and they want to be members of the Prague badasses, if that makes any sense, what I just said. I don't think it does. I do, with every car that's behind me, I do hope it's not the cops. Eventually, if I will see flashing blue light, I will stop and you will get to see Czech police pulling me over in live stream. That would be interesting. I'm gonna let this guy go. Yeah, he figured it out. There you go. I'm entering the Jewish quarter. Now I pulled in front of another guy. Entering the Jewish quarter, which is actually surrounding me here. There's the old Jewish cemetery, synagogues. I gotta cross Pařížská here. He has the right of the way. I'm surprised how many taxi drivers actually. Well, people are going home. It makes sense. Now this is Majzlova Street with the most famous and most expensive kosher restaurant, which is King Solomon, owned by my friend. I've never eaten there, but I really think I should try it to, see what it's like. But the Jewish cemetery would be right here on the right. Well, obviously, I guess you guys would rather look from the camera, right? So let me switch back to the front camera. I'll do it right now when I make the right turn here, because that will give you the look of the castle. Alrighty, here we go. More cobblestone, speed bumps. I apologize. Let me give blinker, even though there's absolutely no cars around me. Here we go. Lovely. If the picture's bumpy, right to Volkswagen. Not my fault. All right. Here to the right is the Faculty of Philosophy of the Charles University. Right to the left is the art school called Umbrum. And in front is the castle, which we can't really see now. Should I go straight? Will that be better? Yeah, I should go straight. Let me back up a little. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. And on the right, which I don't think you'll be able to see, but I can do I do a little drive around? No, I probably don't have to. It's Rudolfinum. It's a concert hall that actually used to serve as a parliament one day, interestingly enough. I'm going to switch to me. I got a green light, so I'm going to switch back to the front. Here we go. Driving over cobblestone once again. So here's the trick in Prague. If you've never driven on a road with cobblestone, you got to find the tram tracks. And if you match your wheels with the tram tracks, you're back on the soft road. In front, the cathedral up on the castle. If you have seen the previous live stream from The Honest Guide, you know that the corner right building is the Lobkowitz Palace, which was a joy to be guided through it with amazing William Lobkowitz. Is that picture out of focus? It's like focused on the window. Well, if it is the entire time, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, just, enjoy the view of the castle. We're kind of used to the nice views. I once said to a guy from Alaska, I said, "Oh man, I envy you so much. I wish I would live in Alaska." And he looked around to this view and he said, "Well, but we don't have this." And I said, "Yeah, right." All right. Oh, bumpy again. All right. All right. We arrived to Malostranska. I saw somebody wrote it there, but this is actually Malostranska Metro. Malostranske Square, which would be the lesser town, would be further out. You can see the tram in front of us. Each wagon only has one passenger in it, and that's the busiest tram we have in Prague. It's number 22. This area is called Kladov, and I'm gonna actually I can. Oh, this is tricky, guys. Sorry. This is the bumpiest section, I promise. But I'll show you where the Czech government sits. Not sure if I can drive around it. I'm definitely not gonna repoint the camera to it. But here to the right, the next building you will see is the Czech government. And on the left is an empty, abandoned building. And they claim that they won't allow people to live in the building because it would be hard to secure the government on the left. And damn, I can't make a left turn here. That sucks. But here on the right, you can see the cops, the fencing. So now I'm really not in a good situation because I don't want to go this way. But I can, I'm sure, solve it gently and easily. Let's see. If I get approached by a policeman from the government, I'll just say, look, I'm a famous YouTuber doing a live stream. You can't put me to court for this. Of course we can, we're the government. Yeah, but you're a Czech government. This is Občanská plovárna. We actually showed you this place from our little boat trip video, where I was explaining that it used to be a regular spot for swimming. It used to be a bath. Well, not anymore. Now it's a restaurant. And once again, you see I cannot make a left turn. Guys, this has just extended our trip by a couple minutes, but I promise I'm taking you somewhere. I could have shown you the Husákovo Ticho. It's a tunnel that goes under one of these bridges. This is also the bridge we showed you on the canoe ride. But on the right side, further down the river, there's a tunnel that is called Husak's Silence. And I'll point this to myself now. And the reason the tunnel is called Husak was our previous president. Well, previous president. And the myth, I guess, is that he had his office up there and he didn't like cars driving right in front of his windows. So they dug the street, the cars under the surface so it would be quiet. So from that, the tunnel is called Husak's Quiet or Husak's Silence. I'm actually driving along the river. This is one of my favorite drives in Prague. That to the right is the Ministry of who knows what. I absolutely have no idea if it's the Ministry of Transportation. I believe it's transportation because agriculture is further down the road. This is usually where tourist buses are parking, the big ones that come from abroad. They park right here. Transportation, somebody, I could actually have read the comment just now. Well, now we're reaching Prague 7. I was hoping I would not get this far with you guys. This is crazy. So this is Prague 7. It's a district of Holešovice or Letna. I don't know where these districts break. But since I don't really like it here, I'm gonna make a U-turn. Is this a legal U-turn? Please, nobody tell on me. Oh boy. Oh boy. I got sweaty. So yeah, I don't like this district. I mean, I do love the district, but I want to show you more things further down above Malá Strana. You can actually, for the very first time, I know Prague 7 is great, and I'm just reading that. You can see there in the distance is the Petřín Lookout Tower. It's the copy of the Eiffel Tower. It's far out. And oh, now everybody's joking about the Prague 7. No, that was more of a joke. So Prague 7 is wanted to be is the hipster neighborhood, but also the art district of Prague. It's absolutely lovely. And the only reason I'm afraid of Prague 7 because I rarely go there, and so I don't know much about it, and I don't know places to go to. So whenever I go to Prague 7, actually, I feel like I'm in a different city. But I do feel like that about most of the parts in Prague because I only know a little about Prague. I think one day we should do this with my friend Adam, the architect, because he would have so much more to say than me about Prague and about buildings, about what is where, which is what, and so on. He's a much better guy to listen to talk about buildings and Prague and architecture in general. I'm just, I talk about things that I want to know things about, but I don't know things about. All right, I'll give you the frontal camera again. Just recently I discovered this is not 2 lanes, this is just 1 lane. You should never drive on tram tracks. I follow a lot of tram drivers on Twitter. They're absolutely great. They understand the transportation the most, and they're really cool. On the right here, if you would follow up these steps, you would get to the coolest skate park there is in Prague. It's called Stalin. Yes, like the dictator Stalin. And his statue used to be there. And believe it or not only Stalin's statue was up there, but also Michael Jackson's. This was when Michael Jackson was doing his concert tour, world tour around the world. And whenever he would put up a statue in a city, that meant that within a year he would host a concert there. So when the statue of Michael Jackson showed up, everybody was excited about Michael Jackson. Now, once again, passing the government that took us like a 2-mile detour. I'm not going to do any crazy funny business here anymore. Hello, officers. I like to live in a country where I'm not afraid of cops, which was not before 1989, just so you know, just a short reminder. If I would follow this road up, I would eventually end up at the castle, but that's very pedestrian zones and stuff like that, but you can see it in front of you right now. We wouldn't be able to get close to it to a point where you would be able to see it much, so I'm not going to go up there. Rather, I'm going to make a left and follow these municipal cops, city cops we call them. This car, they're booting people. They give out boots, and that's exactly what I guess they're about to do to this car. Yes, they're going to boot him because he's parked on a no standing zone. Poor guy. But you know, think about it. There's so many free parking spots right here. Look at that. All these are parking spots. You'll be able to see the castle in a minute. This is one of my favorite drives. This was, believe it or not, one of the main roads to like drive through Prague before we had one of the tunnels. This is where I would have to drive through if I would end up at one of the highways. You can see the cathedral. Yeah, this is my favorite drive here. Here's a cop. The reason cop is here is because this is one of the entrance to the Senate, I believe. Yes. I'm the worst guide you could have. Imagine if I was on one of the hop-on-hop of buses and people would be like, "What's this building?" I'd be like, "I have no idea." Yeah, that'd be me. But we're approaching Malostranské náměstí, Leicester Town Square. I was almost about to make a right to show you the parliament, and then I realized that's where I would actually get probably stopped or pulled over and asked where you're going to. And my only excuse would be, "I know people from the British Embassy. I'm going to visit them at this hour." Yes, I'm 007. I'm not. So here we are, Malostranské náměstí. I actually have a green light. Oh, this guy behind me is mad now. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh, that's the very first time I actually slowed someone down. Let me pull over somewhere so this guy doesn't kill me and I can start talking to you again. We'll make like a very illegal stop here. There we go. Sorry, buddy. But you didn't even honk, man. Yeah, honk next time. But yeah, we just went through Malostranské náměstí, but there will be a better look from the upper part of the square, where you will be able to see the St. Nicholas Church. The only people you should be able to see now on the streets are people going from or to work, or people walking their dogs. There was a big discussion here. We can talk about it later. I'll do like a very quick Q&A if you guys want about what's going on in Prague now. This is the street that goes up to the castle. That's Nerudova. Here, great pub on the right. Ukocoura. This is like a pub tour, pub crawl. And here you can see the St. Nicholas Church with its entrance and another Marian column on my left that you can't really see now. I'm sorry, I was trying to let somebody go by. So this part of the square still serves as a parking lot. The bottom part of the square is once again a square and not a parking lot. And I'm really surprised how many free parking spots are here. Usually people complain that there are not too many because, you know, Prague 1, people think that it doesn't have that many parking spots, but believe it or not, it is actually per capita within Prague. The Prague downtown has the most. There's 2 cops over there. I hope they're not going to question me. I'll pretend to be a delivery guy. Yeah, here's your dishonest guy. And in front of you is the Charles Bridge. So I believe I can show it to you, a sneak peek. But first I'll stop at the red light. Great kebab here on the right, like you care, right? Yeah, thanks Yannick for giving us this tour around Prague and telling us where's a good kebab when we're thousands of miles away. Here's one of the few places where a tram in Prague goes through a house. See that right in front of us? So the left tunnel is for a tram, the middle one is for a car, and the right one is for pedestrians. I can slow down, there's absolutely no traffic. See those tunnels? I love it, how a tram goes through a building. How cool is that? Tram drivers hate when people walk through their tunnel. So they always ring their bell really loud when people go through that place. So don't do that if you're ever in Prague. Your tunnel is the right tunnel on this street. And we're approaching Mostecká Street with the Serbian embassy that always sparks in our videos. When we show it, people go like, hey, that's our embassy. So yeah, they have a good spot for embassy right here on Mostecká, the bridge street. And I can just let you see inside of the street there where the Charles Bridge is, the entrance to the Charles Bridge with the Lesser Town Tower. Obviously you cannot drive further because that's a pedestrian zone, so I will turn around here. But I'll let you once again look at the beauty without the lights. And once again, normally under normal situation, these streets would be full of tourists and so on. Oh, somebody's asking for the Lennon Wall. I'm afraid I won't be able to go there from here. Sorry, it's way too many one-way streets. But I'm backing up now, turning around because that's not a throughway street. And actually, the look the other way, the view, this way is my favorite. This is by far my favorite view of Prague with St. Nicholas Church. So this is lovely. There's some shooting going on, not in terms of gun shooting, but some film shooting. So there's a couple people hanging around, I guess, watching for cables and stuff. This is what's happening to Prague nowadays. So these ATMs are now everywhere. They're these. I'm sorry. I know you do care about this, and I'm talking about this. That's how bad of a guide I am. Somebody's writing that he's drinking Czech as he's watching this. I really hope you're drinking Czech beer, and if you are, I really, really envy you. Like I really want to park the car and just get a beer, but obviously I can't. See the guy in the vest on the left? I guess he's from a film set, from a movie set. Yeah, but we got circle the square once again. So we got a green light. Let's go. There's a completely empty tram. We'll be able to see it. Are there any people on the tram? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 people. You'll see it now. Do you guys want to see the tram? I bet you want to see the tram. And here's the lovely T3 model tram of Prague crossing the Malostranské Square. What a lovely sight. And how you can look at Yannick. Actually, the Model T3 tram, the new design, designed by our friend Anna Marešová, we made an episode about it if you're curious, has just won an award. And I'm not sure, I don't want to be specific here, but it did win. It's called T3 Coupe. So congratulations to Anna Marešová for redesigning, for using the original design of the T3 tram, turning it into a coupe tram. Actually, pretty similar color to this car, bluish. So she won an award. The previous time you were looking up, now you can look at me in this lovely shaky environment. Once again, if there's any complaints about how shaky the camera is, you gotta write to Volkswagen or the guy who's in charge of streets in Prague. But I do like cobblestone. It does get slippery. People don't realize how slippery it is, especially if you're riding on a scooter or a motorcycle. But now we're gonna head out to Karmelická, which does have tram tracks. So I should be able to, I'm gonna let this guy go. I'm nervous when somebody's a couple of inches behind me. There you go. You're free to go. This is like the first time people are watching me drive. I hope I drive fine. This is automatic too, so it's like easy. To the right would be the US Embassy. Well, I'm gonna show you the front camera. To the right would be the US Embassy and the street Tržiště. But this is Karmelická, where my friend, the architect, lives on. So I really think we should invite him for the next live stream. This is where Pražské jezulátko, baby Jesus, the Prague baby Jesus, infant of Prague, infant Jesus, is stored in the church on the right. It's the, I can't turn the camera, I wish I could show you. Well, whatever. In front of us is the Museum of Music, where we also once took you with Honza. And since I know most of you guys are foreigners, I will do this for you. I will end it there. That came out really wrong, saying I will end it there. But yes, I will end it. Now I hope I took a right turn. I think I did. These are tiny little streets, and this is partially why we tell people not to drive in Prague, obviously, because like even when I don't drive through downtown for some time, I forget which streets are one way, what's the deal with parking, and so on and so on. Danish embassy on the left. Hey, Danish embassy. You guys have like 7 parking spots just for your embassy. You should be riding bicycles. We discussed that with my friend a lot. But yeah, you guys, I'm taking you to the most touristy destination there is in Prague, which you'll see in a moment. Because somebody mentioned it. I hope the person whoever wrote it is still watching, because if not, that would disappoint me very much. We are next to the French embassy. Bonjour, bonsoir. There's a person walking their dog. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. I don't think I ever drove a car here, like ever. And there are way too many cars parked, but we may actually be lucky to get you parked. So if I scratch or crash the car now, my stepmom will kill me. But here you go, guys. Here is your John Lennon Wall. Okay. Oh, no. I can't do that. Hold on, guys. Don't leave me. Don't leave me just yet. Don't leave me just yet. I'm back. I'm here, guys. Okay. So, ending the tour, just a driving tour here. I don't know if the dog's going to poop. I hope not. And that was the driving part. So, I absolutely have no idea if you guys liked it or enjoyed it. I really wanted to try it. Can I turn on some lights here? Good. I really wanted to try it. So maybe next time we should do this in a convertible, because I do have a convertible. I bought it for my dad for his birthday. And I think it would be awesome if we could, look up, and if maybe I could be driving and Hansa filming, or the other way around, and we could, show you around the city. So maybe that. I will try to answer if there's any question regarding the tour. So maybe I can do that. Also regarding how I drove, if there's anybody who's going to send this to the cops, please don't do that. That would just not be nice, because I didn't drive. You cannot use this video as evidence. When will we do the next one? I don't know, but I will ask Honza if he liked this one, because Honza is he's in Florida now. So he actually didn't know I was going to do this tour. So we'll see. Why would anyone do that? Yeah, you'd be surprised. Are these vintage trams loud? Yes. They are very loud. They're loud inside and outside as well, but they're awesome. I wouldn't call them vintage. Love to Honza, I'll make sure to tell him. Shout out to Honest Dad. Yeah, shout out to Honest Dad, and shout out to Honest Stepmom for letting me drive her luxurious car. Thank you. My Volvo would be really bumpy. I drive a 20-year-old Volvo. This is like a brand new T-Roc something. Are bars closed in Prague? Yes, everything is. That's why I took you for this tour. So, because legally, I'm not allowed to walk on the streets. I'm immune. I've already been through COVID. I had it a couple of weeks ago, So I shouldn't be able to spread the virus, but still, I didn't feel like, walking on the street and violating some rule. If I'm violating the rule by driving, I don't know. How do you spend days? Other days under COVID? We try to, film with Hanzik, but since he's gone now, that's why I did this little tour. But I will really try to get, I think that would be really good if I could get my friend Adam, my friend architect, to actually, he could drive and I could film him. Extended emergency powers granted today to extend lockdown. When will Prague reopen? I really don't know answer to a question when will Prague reopen, but the lockdown or the state of emergency was extended today till the 12th of um, December. 12th of December. Somebody's writing that. Yeah, somebody's writing that you can get COVID more than one time. Yes, I'm sure I can, and I hope I will not. Even though I didn't have any symptoms, and I absolutely do not understand that illness. That's why I try to avoid it. That's why I try to avoid talking about it as much as possible. Patreons, hey Michal! There's Michal, our Patreon. Ciao. Thank you so much for being our patron. Mad respect, man. And thanks to all the patrons that support us. And if you guys want to support us by buying one of these crazy hoodies and shirts that we made, you can do that as well. But I see we're closing up on an hour. So thank you so much. I will teach you a Czech word in the end, and that's řidič, driver. Řidič. And that's pretty much it. Thank you. I always don't want to say goodbye to you, but hello to wherever you are in the world, and I hope you enjoyed this. Ahoy, and thanks, patrons. Thank you so much. We will do, you guys are getting a live stream only for you very soon.